Hello everyone, and welcome to another disc battle, this time taking a look at a pair of fairway drivers. First, with the newcomer on the block, the Discraft Passion, part of the Paige Pierce lineup, and also the DGA pipeline, which from other videos, as you may know, is one of my favorite fairway drivers out there, so definitely a tall task for the Passion. Let's go ahead, jump right in, taking a look at the profile. I feel that the pipeline maybe has just a little bit more dome to it than the Passion. Passion overall tends to be a little flatter, but again, it's not very noticeable. From the top half of the disc up, they are very, very similar, but it's actually when you flip the discs over where you see the difference. Now, both of them are concaved. However, I think the Passion has a much more defined concave rim and also has that really strange little rounded nose to it, very similar to, say, like the Discraft Cyclone. In regards to how it feels in the hand then, I think that kind of roundness almost adds a little bit of meatiness in the feel in the fingers for the Passion, whereas the pipeline is just going to feel like kind of a typical fairway driver. It kind of has that sleekness. It doesn't have that little added heft that that rounded rim gives for the Passion. When choosing a disc, feel is among the top things that I look for in the disc, whether or not it feels good in the hand. But something else that's important is the flight. So we're seeing different flight comparisons between both the Passion and the pipeline, and I have to say they both have really good glide. These discs like to hang in the air, get a lot of extra distance because of that glide. I think the flight numbers are a little off between the two. I personally would almost actually flip them around. As you can see, when thrown here on a forehand, Passion goes out straight, gets a little bit of turn to it, and then it kind of hyzers back, whereas this really shows how much more turn in the mid-flight the pipeline has. And overall, I think that's consistent with most of the different angles that you put the discs on. When you throw the pipeline flat, you'll get a little bit of turn in the mid-flight, versus the Passion is going to hold a very straight line. And they both have very comparable fade at the very end. In fact, I think it's probably safe to say the pipeline flies like a slightly beat-in Passion. I think the Passion has this amazing torque resistance that almost really, no matter your arm speed up to the really big arms, you can throw the Passion super hard and it's just going to hold that line that you put it on. Whereas the pipeline, that's going to be more, it's going to hold a turnover a little bit better. You'll still try to fade out depending on how much air you give it. As you can see with these turnovers, Passion does get a nice sweeping turn, but then it has that really, as soon as it slows down, it checks up and have that harsh dump at the very end. Unfortunately, this was not the best comparison shot, as the pipeline, I got a little bit too much angle on it, but it does show you just how much of a turn it can really have, but then also shows you it doesn't turn and burn. It does like to check up and will try to hyzer out at the very end, even if you put it on a really good anhyzer angle. Alright, so now that we've seen the flight of both the Passion and the pipeline side by side, let's go ahead and take a look at how I would use both of these discs out on the course. And we're going to start with where I think the Passion really sets itself apart from the pipeline, and that's in how much torque it can hold. It can hold a lot of torque. Even if you have a fast arm, you really have to rip into this disc, so you don't have to worry about the Passion turning into an accidental roller. And since the Passion does a great job resisting torque, it can handle the extra torque put on by forehand shots, making it great for those touch forehand drives and approaches. Another great attribute is the fact that it has amazing glide. If you need a fairway driver that is really going to stay in the air, it's going to continue to push forward, that is what Passion does extremely well. Where it's kind of lacking though is on turnovers, at least for players with medium slower arms. Bigger arm, definitely a lot better, but for slower medium arms, this is not a big turnover disc. Honestly, when it comes to the Passion, just throw it flat. Just throw it flat, watch it ride dead straight and have a little bit of hyzer. That's what makes the Passion so amazing. Now let's go ahead and transition over to the pipeline, which I think is perfect for wooded courses because of all the different lines you can put it on. And since it's more workable in the early and mid-flight, the pipeline is perfect for hyzer flips. That is how it can get perfectly straight drives like this. Just a nice hyzer flip to perfectly straight, versus the Passion, you can get that just with throwing flat. pipeline you can do it too, but you do have to manipulate the angle of the disc a bit. When it comes to the wind, that is where the pipeline starts to fall short, as you really have to play with the angle, give it a lot of hyzer into headwinds, versus the Passion is going to hold a lot better in the wind. However, as mentioned earlier, the pipeline is so much better on those extreme turnover shots, whereas the Passion is going to hyzer out much sooner. So how about the different plastic types? Well, the Passion primarily comes in different runs of ESP, but also the Z Glow, whereas the pipeline comes in different variations of Pro line and the SP line. I wish I could have tried the Passion in the Glow plastic, but I did at least get it in a lightweight ESP, and I have to say that there really isn't much difference to the regular near max weight. They were almost identical flights, just a smidge little bit of turn in the mid-flight, versus the pipeline, there's definitely more variety. If you need a pipeline that's going to resist that early flight turn, you got to take a look at both the Matt Bell Pro line from 2020 and just regular Pro lines in general. They definitely resist that turn better and have still that nice overstable finish to it, which both complements the more understable Pro line Flex plastic that we've seen throughout this video. So now it's time to pick one of these two amazing fairway drivers. Which one reigns supreme? I have to go with the DGA pipeline as the winner of this disc battle. This really was a very difficult decision, as both of these fairway drivers are fantastic in their own right. I just feel like the pipeline offers a little bit more. Yes, it does take more angle control to hit a lot of the same lines, but it offers a lot of different shots that, in honesty, only really big arms can achieve with the Passion. You can get anhyzer shots, hyzer shots, straight tunnel shots. You can get it all with the pipeline. Again, you do need to have good angle control, but it is something that is achievable, versus the Passion is just throw it flat and watch it be incredible. But again, as you're seeing with this shot here, you can get that with the pipeline as well. Alright everyone, thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe and let me know what disc battles you want to see in 2022. Just want to take a few moments, thank those sponsors. My newest sponsor for 2022, Disc. Also, Riverside Pro Shop. Go visit the Sandy Knoll course in West Bend. It is incredible. As always, thank you to Discraft for the support. If you are interested in any of these discs, you can find them at the links below. Till next time everyone, keep banging them chains.